Hi guys, welcome back to OK Jank. I'm going to bring you a truly Jank build Cardfight Vanguard premium deck for Nova Grapplers. So I'll just jump straight into it now and you'll see immediately why it's true Jank. So the starter, we're running the Stand Trigger Battle Razor. It has a Forerunner ability. When you ride it, it gets called to rearguard, and then when it boosts, the boost unit gets 3,000 power until end of battle, and at the beginning of the end phase of the turn, this gets shuffled back into deck. And then running 4 Shurikaiser for the V series, which is when your drive check reveals a grade 2 or greater, stand one of your rear guards, and the real card is grade 3 or greater, can't blast one, and the stood rear guard gets 10,000 power until end of the turn. Then currently running one of each Incised Razor and Perfect Razor. That will get amended to just 2 Incised Razors. So Incised Razor is when it attacks, can't blast one and stand all of your rear guards on additional rear guard circles, and Perfect Razor is when it attacks, can't blast 2, stand 2 of your rear guards in the front row, and then when the attack hits, if you have a card with Razor in its card name in your soul, you can card charge one, and one of your units gets 5,000 power until end of the turn. So that'll be 2 Incised Razors. This is truly Jank build at the minute, so it's not fully worked through. I've not gone through and collected everything I need, but it will be 2 Incised Razor. Then running 3 Maximum Razor, which is when it attacks while not boosted, it gets 10,000 power until end of the battle. So restanding a couple of times on an extra rearguard circle, and it's swinging for 22, 32, 27 to 32-ish, depending which XL you go for. XL1 if you've got the early rush on them, XL2 if you're lagging behind a little bit and you need to draw. Then got 2 Ultimate Razor Mega Flare, which is a Legion with dual flare, and when it attacks a Vanguard, if it's Legion and the number of rested rearguards you have is 4, it gets a crit. And then when its attack hits a Vanguard, if you have another card with Razor in its card name in the middle column, choose one of your rearguard and stand it. So when it's Legioned, if it hits, because the Legion has Razor in its name, you can stand a rearguard. Otherwise, you need one in the back row behind it. So it's a little bit of jank there. The Legion, for those of you that may be unfamiliar, is that you choose 4 cards from your drop zone and shuffle them back into your deck. That could be the Legion Mate, it can be just triggers, it can be grade 3s, it can be grade 2s, it can be anything that you want basically in your deck, whether it's for searching or for just healing and standing and crits. Then we've got the 4 high-powered Razor Customs from the V series, which when it's placed, call a Battle Razor from soul to rearguard in the same column as this unit, and then when its attack hits a Vanguard, you can counter blast 1 and put a Battle Razor from your rearguard into soul and stand one of your other rearguards. This is in here because late game, if you've got called this to the battlefield, you can stack them so that this can go into soul, instead of getting shuffled back in to restand something, or this can get shuffled back in. Also thinking this might get swapped out for the Battle Razor. It's just a standard version when rolled upon draw a card. Then we've got 4 Master Razors, which is when it stands due to an effect of one of your cards. If you have a Vanguard with Razor in its card name, choose one of your other rear guards in the same column as this unit and stand it. So it's not losing any power compared to the standard stuff, but allows you for multiple big attacks when you're standing things off the Razor's Vanguard skills or your other rearguard skills that restand things. Then obviously because we're running Legion, we want to have some Legion mates to find. So dual flare, which is just when your Vanguard Legions during the turn that your Vanguard Legions, when your Vanguard attacks, stand this unit and it gets 5,000 power until end of turn, and then it's once per turn skill basically. So it's on rear guard, it Legions with your Vanguard attack. You attack with this first. Vanguard attacks, this restands then, so it's just a way of getting a couple of multi attacks in the deck. And then I'll just say now as well, I've not got a complete G zone for this because, as I say, I've not gone through fully. But then 2 Cool Hank, which is GB1. Can't blast 1, and when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it's boosted, pay the cost, and then stand one of your other rear guards, and that unit gets 3,000 power, 5,000 power, 5,000 power until end of turn, and then that's again, that's a once per turn skill. So just 2 Cool Hank, just to when you do get to GB, you can stand things easier. Then running 4 Headstrong Battle, perfect guards, it's just a perfect guard, and then GB1, when it's placed on Guardian, if there's a card name with this name in your drop zone, choose one of your rear guards and until end of turn it gets Cat Blast 1 at the beginning of the guard step at the battle. It attacks the Vanguard. That your Vanguard would attack, you repay the cost. If you do, move that unit to Guardian Circle as rest and it gets 10,000 power. So for a counter blast, it's just another shield defense. Yeah, if you get that, if you've had to call that down, for example, it's in there just because it frees up the trigger units, but you still obviously want PGs. Then we're running 3 the V Series Jet Razor, which is when your other rear guard is placed, this unit gets 3,000 power until end of turn. And then we're running one of the G Series, well, I think it's even pre-G Series. Just Counter Blast, put it into the soul. One attack hits a Vanguard during the battle that it boosted. You may play the cost. If you do, choose one of your rear guards with Razor and stand it. So it's just, again, if you call that and then call this, that's 10k, and then 17, but then that can restand if it hits. So, for example, it's just ways of getting a couple of extra attacks off each turn. Then we've got 2 Cat Butler from the V Series, because we're running the Legion mate. So at the end of the battle that your Vanguard attack didn't hit, you may Soul Blast 1 and retire this unit. Choose one of your units, it gets 3,000 power until end of turn, and if it's a grade 2 or less Vanguard, you can stand it. So the way that works is when you've got your Dual Flare and Mega Flare on, they will attack, and because the Legion, they tap together, and then when it doesn't hit, because it's got a crit, you will Soul Blast 1, you retire the Cat Razor, and then you choose the grade 2, and the grade 2 will get 3000 power, but then it'll stand, and because of the way the Legion mechanic works, it stands the dual flares, the mega flare, and then it can attack again, and if you have another one of these, it can again do it. So 2 for a little bit of consistency in that regard. And then into the triggers, so we've got one more Battle Razor stand trigger, just for a little bit of added consistency. Got 3 minutes, because even though there are Razor draw triggers, you want the power when you're attacking. 3 Turbo Razor front triggers, 4 crit triggers of the V-Series variety, and 4 heals of the V-Series variety. That is the True Jank Nova Grappler deck build for premium. I'll show you the bit of a GR zone I've got at the moment. So we've got Meteor Kaiser Vic 10. I'm not going to go through these. Meteor Kaiser Tribrut. We've got a Arundel. We've got 2 Demosaurus. We've got 3 Maui the Supreme. We've got 1 Snow Element Blizzard, just because it's just a free face-up one when you stride into it. And then I do have somewhere a playset of the Assure Kaiser Strides, which is basically the same skill as the Grade 3 one, but I can't find them at the moment. But that's what you really want to be going into. That's the idea behind the deck, is that your Legion, you restand a couple of times, and then you go into Assure Kaiser with, let's see if I can get this properly. So you want Assure Kaiser with 2-ish Axel circles, Legion back all your triggers and all your grade 3s, and then you want to swing with these because they're unboosted on the extra circles. Then you want to swing with this, and then you want to drive check, counter blast, restand it, next check, counter blast, restand it, and then with the stride one it's the same thing again. So the more rear guards you have, the more effective this becomes. Just using the Legion just to filter things back into the deck rather than out of the deck. Like I say, it is a real jank build. It's not a competitive build, it's for fun, which is again why the G Zone is unfinished comparative to the rest of the decks that you'll see on the channel, which I'd like to think are quite complete in the build. Though again, not necessarily the most complete and competitive, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and it gives you just an idea of how to build fun for premium rather than the quite hard meta that the format has. I like to play the more casual side of it. Is where there's the most enjoyment for me. I know people say that standard is the casual format, but casual can be quite standard can be quite competitive in itself. So hope you guys have enjoyed the deck profile. Leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.